Assalamualaikum for everyone. So welcome to our podcast. So today we will talk about a very crucial statement, which is AI is that a classroom alive or academic traits. So in our podcast today, we invite two beloved panelists, and they are from IPG students. So you can introduce your name,
My name is Tun Darush Anakin Bezamri.
and how about you?
Yeah, Assalamualaikum and hi guys. My name is Muhammad Azim Haikal bin Muhammad Nazri.
And my name is Muhammad Amir Nizam bin Maslim Nizam. So we will talk about the statements right now. Okay, so Tun, let me start first. One of the strongest reasons why AI can be considered a classroom alike is its ability to provide personalized learning experience. In every classroom, students have different learning styles, abilities, and academic background. So, some students can understand new concepts quickly, while others may need more explanation, additional example, or extra practice before they fully understand a topic. However, teachers often face challenge in meeting all these different needs because they have limited time and many students to manage at the same time. So AI helps solve this problem by adapting learning materials according to each student's needs. Instead of providing the same explanation to everyone, AI can offer different explanations, exercise, and learning approach based on a student's performance. For example, if a student repeatedly makes a mistake in a particular topic, AI can identify the weakness and provide more practice questions or simply explanations. On the other hand, students who master the topic quickly be given more advanced activities to challenge them further. Another advantage is that AI allows students to learn at their own pace. In traditional classrooms, students sometimes feel embarrassed to ask the teacher to repeat an explanation because they are afraid of being judged by their classmates. AI remove this pressure because students can ask the same question multiple times without feeling uncomfortable. They can continue learning until they fully understand the concept. Research conducted by Zaraki Richer found that AI technologies have significant potential to support personalized learning by adapting educational content to individual student needs and learning patterns. So, you have any questions?
That's a very interesting point. Could you give an example of how AI personalized learning for students?
Okay, yes, then I can answer that. Okay, so certainly imagine a Form 5 student who is preparing for an additional mathematics examinations. So the students struggle with the different session and the integration while most classmates already understand the topics. During class, the teacher may not have enough time to provide individual assistance because there are many other students who also need help, right? So the student can use like ChatGPT or another AI-powered learning platform to receive step-by-step explanations. In the first explanation is too difficult, the student can ask the AI to simplify it. If the student still does not understand, they can request another example. The AI can continue adjusting its explanation until the student understands the concept. In addition, I guess AI can generate practice questions based on the student's current level. If the students answer correctly, the question become more challenging. And if the student makes a mistake, the AI can provide easier question and explain where the errors occur. So this creates a learning experience that is specifically tailored to the student's need rather than forcing everyone to learn in the same way. You agree with me?
Yes, I would totally agree with you.
Yes, as a result, students receive support that match their abilities and learning pace, which can improve both understanding and confidence in learning. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. I really agree with you. Another important reason why AI can be considered a classroom ally is that it increases access to learning resources. In the past, students mainly depend on teachers, textbook, libraries, and classroom lessons obtain knowledge. Why these resources are still important, they may not always be available when students need immediate assistance. AI changed this situation by providing instant access to information and learning support. Students can use AI tools at any time of the day, whether they are studying in school, at home, or even while traveling. This means learning is not longer limited to classroom hours. One significant uh, benefit is that AI allows students to receive immediate feedback. Traditionally, students might have to wait until the next lesson to ask a teacher about a problem. With AI, they can obtain explanation to reduce learning interruption and help students maintain their momentum while studying. AI also support independent learning. Instead of waiting for instruction from teachers, students can explore topics on their own, ask for the art question, and this helps students develop responsibility for their our learning and encourage lifelong learning habits. According to UNESCO 2023, AI has the potential to improve educational accessibility and provide continuous learning support regardless of time and location.
That's a great point, Azim. Can I ask you to explain further about how AI enhance independent learning among students?
Of course, AI encourages independent learning because students can take control of their own educational journey. Instead of relying completely on teachers for answer, students can actively seek information and solve problems themselves. For example, when students encounter unfamiliar concepts, they can immediately ask AI for explanation. They can continue asking follow-up questions until they fully understand the topic. This process develops curiosity and self-directed learning skill. Students also become more confident because they are able to learn and solve problems without constantly depending on others. These are important skills that can benefit them not only in school but also in higher education and future careers.
That sounds useful. Could you provide a practical example?
Certainly, imagine a university student preparing for a final examination at midnight. The student is revising accounting concepts and encounters a difficult topic involving financial statement analysis. Normally, the student would need to wait until the next classroom or consultation season to seek clarification from the lecturer. However, with AI tools such as ChatGPT, the student can immediately ask questions and receive explanation. The AI can provide definitions, example, practice question, and even compare different accounting concepts. The student can continue studying without interruption and make efficient using of available time. This demonstrates how AI expand access to learning opportunities beyond the classroom and allow students to learn whenever they need assistance.
I like your idea, Azim. But despite its benefit, AI can also be viewed as an academic threat because it may encourage academic dishonesty. Academic dishonesty refers to behavior such as plagiarism, cheating, and submitting work that doesn't genuinely represent a student's own effort. One reason for concern is that AI can generate essays, reports, reflections, and answer within seconds. While this technology can be useful for learning, some students may misuse it by copying AI generated content and representing it as their own work. This is problematic because education is not only about obtaining good grades. The purpose of assignment is to help students develop important skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, research, communication, and writing. If students allow AI to complete these tasks for them, they may miss valuable learning opportunities. Furthermore, Excessive dependence on AI may create unfair advantage. Students who generally complete their work may be disadvantaged compared to those who rely heavily on AI-generated content. Research by Cotton and Shipway 2023 highlight concerns that generative AI creates new challenges for academic integrity because students can easily produce sophisticated assignment content with minimal effort. Imagine a university student who assigned to write a 2,000 word essay about the impact of social media on education. Instead of conducting research, reading academic articles, and developing original arguments, the students simply ask ChatGPT to write the entire essay. Within a few minutes, the AI produces a complete essay that appears well organized and academically written. The student then submits the work without reviewing, editing, or understand the content. Although the student may receive a good grade, the learning objective of the assignment have not been achieved. The student has not improved their research skills, writing skills, or understanding of the topic. The example illustrates how AI can undermine academic integrity when it is used irresponsibly.
Thanks, Don, for your idea. So, for my second point, I believe that AI improves teaching efficiency, which is one of the reasons why it can be considered a classroom ally. When people talk about education, they often focus only on students. However, teachers also play a very crucial role in creating a successful learning environment. Besides teaching in the classroom, teachers have many other responsibilities. They need to prepare lesson plans, design teaching materials, create quizzes and examinations, create assignments, monitor student progress, and complete administrative tasks. So all these responsibilities require a significant amounts of time and efforts. So as a result, many teachers spend hours outside of their teaching schedule preparing for classes and managing paperwork. So I guess this can sometimes reduce the amount of time available for direct interaction with students. So in some case, teachers may become overwhelmed by the routines itself, by the routine tasks that take away from their primary responsibility. So it will helping students learn effectively. This is where AI can make a difference. AI tools can automate many repetitive and time-consuming tasks. For example, AI can help teachers generate lesson plans, create worksheets, prepare quizzes, summarize learning materials, and also even provide feedback on objective assessments. By reducing the amount of time spent on administrative work, teachers can focus more on teaching, mentoring, and also supporting students individually. So another important benefit is that AI also can help teachers identify a student who may be struggling academically by analyzing students' performance data. AI system can highlight areas where students need additional supports. This allows teacher to intervene earlier and provide more targeted assistance. So research support this benefit. According to Holmes 2022, AI can assist education by automating to meaningful interaction with students. This allows teachers to focus more on activities that require human judgment, creativity, and also emotional supports. So I would like to ask Tundarish, so do you agree with my opinion that I just give to you guys just before?
Yes, I'm totally agree with you. I think many people underestimate the amount of work teachers do behind the scenes. Teaching is not about just standing in front of class and delivering lessons. Teachers spend a lot of preparing assignment, grading materials, and management administrative responsibilities. If AI can reduce some of these routine tasks, teachers will have more opportunities to focus on their students. For example, they can spend more personalized guidance and creating engaging classroom activities. I believe AI should not replace teachers, but it can certainly serve as a valuable assistant that help teachers become more efficient and effective in their work. Yeah.
Thanks, sir, for your opinion.
Yes.
For my second point, I would like to discuss how AI can enhance creativity and critical thinking when it is used appropriately. Many people assume that AI simply provides answer and therefore discourages thinking. However, when used responsibly, AI can actually encourage students to explore ideas, evaluate information, and develop creative solutions to problems. Okay, creativity is an important skill in modern education because students are often required to generate original ideas, complete projects, solve real world problems, and work collaboratively. Sometimes students struggle to begin a project because they do not know where to start. AI can help by generating suggestions, brainstorming ideas, and presenting different perspectives on a topic. For example, when students are asked to prepare a presentation or research project, AI can suggest possible research questions, identify key issues, and propose different approach to solve a problem, rather than replacing students' creativity. AI can act as a starting point that inspire further thinking. In addition, AI can support critical thinking. Critical thinking involves analyzing information, evaluating evidence, comparing viewpoints, and making reasoned judgment. AI can expose students to multiple perspectives on an issue, encourage them to consider alternative viewpoints before reaching a conclusion. For instance, if students are researching climate climate change policy, AI can present arguments from environmental, economic, and political perspective. Okay. Research by Lankin et al. 2016 suggests that AI can function as an intelligent learning partner that supports higher order thinking skill, including creativity, reflections, and problem solving.
That's very interesting, Azib. However, some people argue that if students use AI too often, they may become less creative because the AI is generating ideas for them. How would you like to respond to that concern?
I think that concept is valid, but it depends on how AI is used. If students simply copy every idea produced by AI, then yes, creativity may decrease. However, if students use AI as a brainstorming tool rather than a final solution, it can actually enhance creativity. For example, imagine a group of students preparing a project on climate change. They ask AI to suggest possible project topics. The AI might recommend renewable energy, sustainable transportation, carbon reduced policies, or green technology. Instead of choosing one of idea immediately, the students can discuss this suggestion, combine different concepts, and develop their our unit project. In this situation, AI serves as a catalyst of creative thinking rather than replacing it. The same applies to critical thinking. Students should evaluate the information provided by AI, question its accuracy, and compare it with other sources. AI becomes a tool that supports thinking rather than replacing it.
For my final point, I would like to discuss one of the biggest concerns regarding AI in education, which is the risk of inaccurate or biased information.
Oh,
Although AI are although AI systems are becoming increasingly advanced,
okay.
they are not perfect.
Yeah.
Many AI tools generate responses that sound confident, professional, and convincing, However, this doesn't not necessarily mean that the information provided is always correct. One major issue is that AI can sometimes produce inaccurate information. This phenomenon is often referred to as an AI hallucination, where the AI generate information that appears because the response sounds convincing. Users may not immediately realize that the information is wrong. Another concern is that AI may provide outdated information. Educational knowledge is constantly evolving, especially in fields such as science, medicine, technology, and economics. If students rely solely on AI without checking other sources, they may unknowingly use information that no longer accurate. There is also the issue of bias. AI system learn from large amounts of data collected from the internet and other sources. If those sources contain biases, stereotypes, or side perspective, this may unintentionally reproduce them. This can influence how information is presented and may affect the students' understanding of certain issue. For the reason, students should always verify AI generates information using reliable academic sources such as journals, articles, books, and official publications. UNESCO 2023 warns that generative AI systems can produce misleading information and may reflect biases present in their training data. Therefore, critical evaluation remains essential when using AI in education. Amy, do you agree with my point?
Yes, Tun, I really agree with your opinion just now. So I think one of the biggest dangers of AI is that it often sounds very confident even when it is incorrect actually. So because of this, students may assume that the information is reliable without taking time to verify it, to check whether it's true or not. So for an example, imagine a student preparing a research report. So the students ask an AI tool to provide statistics and academic reference, right? And then regarding to the topic, so when the AI produce several statistics and citations that appear authentic, however, actually is wrong. It's not the right one. So the student discovers that some of the reference do not actually exist. So if the students have had submitted the report to the lecturer without verifying the informations, so it could have affected the quality and credibility of the assignment itself. So therefore, while AI is an extremely useful tool, students must use it responsibly. AI should be treated as a starting point for research rather than final authority. By combining AI with like reliable sources, with reliable academic source, and so on, students can enjoy the benefit of AI while minimizing the risk associated with misinformation and also bias. I guess that is my opinion.
Wow, that's great opinion.
Okay, so that's all from us. Thank you for Azim and also Tun
Okay,
because
welcome,
sharing your
Amy.
opinions. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it so much. So as a conclusion, we can see that AI can be classroom aligned and also academic trait. It depends on how people use it. So thank you for Amgras because sponsor our podcast today. So if you want to buy a mic that can really help to do your podcast or assignment or anything, you can buy Amgras. Okay, bye.
Hi.